All right, action. All right, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about something that is misconstrued a lot in the FPS community. It's mouse acceleration. Now, a lot of you will hear mouse acceleration and think, bro, why are you using that? That shit's dog shit. Who uses that? Well, I'm here to show you today that mouse acceleration can be good for specific people, not for everyone. Like me, for example, because I'm a wrist aimer, and I think for wrist, mouse acceleration is really good. My default sensitivity in Overwatch is 1600 DPI 5. 1605, right? That's high as fuck, it seems, right? But when I move around, it doesn't look like I'm playing on 1605. But when I do a 180, that looks fast. And the way to show this accurately is dun 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 dun, hand cam. Pay attention to my hand movements, okay? Hand movements are very important. All right, first we're gonna start with the slow tracking, right? I go side to side like this for low sense tracking. But I can go like this for a 180, right? So I can do a quick 180. Now watch this. This also shows it. When I go slow, it takes this much mouse movement to do a 180. But I can go fast and do a 180. So I get the closeness. And then to show how this works even further, is let's pay attention to the slow mouse again. Now I'm going to turn off the mouse accel and watch how it does it. Same hand movement, not the same slow tracking. One of my problems in Overwatch was I like playing every single hero, right? So sometimes I need to be Tracer, but I want to have that really close tracking, but then I suck at like 180s and like blinking around fast because I'm not an arm aimer. And then sometimes I would want high sense so I can track close, but then my far tracking was dog shit because it was jittering all over the place. So basically what this lets you do is it allows you to have a close range tracking, but fast sensitivities when you need it. So I can still do 180s whenever I want, but still have the benefits of really smooth tracking. Now this is a program called accel. It's a mouse acceleration program. I have an older version, so it looks different than the newer versions, but this is the one I use. So basically these are my Overwatch settings right now for mouse accel. So basically what this graph is whatever my DPI is, I am using 0.37 of that DPI. So at the lowest point, my sensitivity is basically 0.37. So it's very low. But at my high point, I go up to around 0.8 or 0.9. So almost back to my original sense, which allows me to do a 180, but have the benefits of low sensitivity tracking. Acceleration, all it does is basically tell you how fast it'll ramp up to the other. So the lower, it'll take less time and more force to ramp up. The higher it is, it'll take less force to ramp up to the high sense. What offset does is, as you can see on the graph, is it hard lines how long you stay at the lowest sense. So say you get in a firefight in Apex or Overwatch and you panic or it's really quick, offset allows it so even if you do like little micro moves that might fuck up your aim, it still stays at the very low sense. Where zero offset makes it so no matter what movements you do, it's going through those different sensitivity levels. So offset allows you to stay at that lower sensitivity level depending on your mouse movement. So if I'm always moving slow, it's always going to be at that low movement, but if I move fast, it'll ramp up to that 180. I'll do two examples. I do Tracer with the mouse accel on already, and then I'll turn my mouse accel off and you can see the difference between my hands, right? So like, I can have this smooth tracking, Because right now, remember, I'm playing like I'm at 1.8 sensitivity right now. When I'm tracking people like this. But I can still 180, right? I can even freaking 360 if I want to. But now, after we die, let's turn the mouse accel off, and I have the same 180s, right? My 180s look the same, but when I'm tracking close, I have to like, it's very jittery, right? Like I can still track, but it's not as consistent. And I have to really strain my wrist to like be able to do these minute movements, so it doesn't feel natural. Like my 180s and everything else feels like really comfortable for my wrist, but as soon as I have to go to this little tracking, I have to stress it a lot. So I can still do it, but in the midst of like fighting and all that stuff, you can get really fatigued from having to do this all the time. It doesn't feel comfortable. And like, I have to like barely move my mouse when I'm doing close range tracking, and I have to stress my wrists a shit ton. But if I turn back on the mouse accel, I can go back to that nice, comfortable wrist aim where I can move my mouse just like this. I don't have to strain my wrist or my fingers too much. Like, I don't have to think while aiming, right? I can just do it. Now, how are you going to do this in-game? What you're going to do is first, you are going to go to your options, of course, and you're going to find your high sense. Your high sense is what you're comfortable 180ing with. So, for example, let's go to 8. If I go to 8 and I start flicking around, I'm like, yeah, you know, I like this 180. This feels comfortable for me. I'm able to move around just like I want. Yeah, I like this. So that's your high sense. That's your 180 sense. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find your low tracking or micro flicking sense. For extreme sakes, just to show you how it works, let's go to 1. Oh my god. I really like how I become a full arm aimer now. I really like tracking. My flicks are top tier when I'm here. Yeah, this is what I like. So what you're going to do is now you're going to go back to your program. You're going to get your trusty little calculator, and it's quite simple. It's your lowest sense divided by your 180 or high sense. And that becomes your sense multiplier. So right now our sense multiplier is 1.25. This is going to change my graph immensely. So what you want to do to approach the high sense, your 180 sense, is you need to change your limit until it's approaching 1. So let's try 5. And still not there. Let's try 8. Still not there. Maybe 10. Okay, we're almost there. But we're going a little bit over. So let's do like 9.8. No, 9.5. Good enough. So right now, at our very low sense, we're at 1. At our high sense, we're going all the way to 8. Make sure that you change back to your high sense, because that's what the approaching 1 part matters. And yeah, that's how mouse accel works, and why I think it's really, really fucking good for wrist aimers or hybrid aimers of arm and wrist. It gives you the benefits of high sense for fast moving around as a wrist player, but it gives you that nice, clean tracking that arm aimers get. So I highly recommend trying out mouse acceleration if you haven't before, and don't believe all the bad rap it gets. Poogies! Alright, cut! Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone.